In my country, Argentina, they are asking to be seen the abortion law. It's something that it creates a lot of discomfort, and I'm not sharing this. What happens with the body of a woman energetically when does an abortion?
You know, I don't know what happens energetically.
No sé qué le pasa energéticamente.
You know, I don't think it's an easy
No
choice.
creo que sea una decisión fácil.
You know, I've had an
Yo
abortion,
he tenido un aborto.
and it was the most impacting thing I ever
Fue la
did
cosa más impactante que he hecho en mi vida.
for me in that
Para mí
moment.
en ese momento.
I was very
Yo
young,
era muy joven.
and it was shocking for me,
Choqueante para
but
mí.
it was my
Pero
choice.
fue mi elección.
And in my country, it's always been
Mi
legal.
país siempre ha sido algo legal.
So I don't have
Así que yo no tengo
an idea,
una idea
a moral
o un
standing.
estándar moral.
There's a million different
Son
situations,
situaciones diferentes.
so I don't have any opinion.
Entonces no es que tengo una opinión.
But I don't think for any woman
Pero yo no creo que para ninguna mujer
that it's an easy thing.
sea algo fácil de hacer.
It's a very deep
Sino que
thing,
es algo muy profundo.
and it's a
Y
decision
es una decisión
that each individual
que
makes.
cada individuo realiza.
But it's not that it's simple.
Pero no es simple.
Oh, just go and have an
Ah,
abortion.
bueno, sí, me voy a hacer un aborto.
It's not getting a haircut.
No, no es cortarte el pelo.
Okay, it's a big
Es
thing.
algo muy importante.
And I think a lot of the stigma,
Creo que mucho del estigma,
but also
pero
energetically,
también energético,
yes, it affects you.
te afecta.
I'm sure there's no one that's had an abortion
Seguro no existe nadie que
that found it something
lo haya
simple.
encontrado como algo simple.
But moralistically,
Pero como desde lo moral,
I don't have an
yo
opinion.
no tengo opinión.
I think it's, you know, in the hands of whoever.
Creo que está en las manos de cada uno.
Hmm? Not very Catholic, I know,
Ya sé, no es muy católica mi...
but I'm not very Catholic.
Yo tampoco soy muy católica. ¿Puedo ayudar a un familiar deprimido si él no quiere ser ayudado? ¿Y cómo? Can I help a family member that is very depressed if he doesn't want to be helped? And how do I do?
No, you can't.
No puedes.
You know, the only way you can inspire
La única manera
people
que puedes inspirar a las personas
is through your own
es
experience.
por la experiencia.
But you can't make them change.
Puedes ayudarlos a cambiar.
If people are suicidal
Una persona está
or depressed,
deprimida,
they have to get to some point
al
where they decide to change.
punto de decide cambiar,
You can't make them change.
puede ser que cambie.
People have to choose to change.
Que elegir cambiar.
And some people go very low
Algunas personas caen muy profundo
until they come out of
para
it.
que puedan salir de ese
And some people never come out of
Las
it.
personas nunca salen de ese pozo,
They never come out.
nunca salen.
You know, so there's nothing you can
No
do.
hay nada en realidad que puedas hacer.
They can get professional help,
Pueden recibir ayuda profesional,
but it's not really solving the
pero
problem.
no va a resolver el problema.
Or maybe it will.
O tal vez sí,
But you,
pero tú,
I can't stop someone being depressed.
yo no puedo impedir que alguien esté deprimido.
If someone comes to
Si
me
alguien viene a mí
and says, I'm
y
depressed,
dice, estoy deprimido,
I want help,
quiero ayuda,
then I can help
ahí sí
someone.
puedo ayudar a esa persona.
But I can't make
Pero yo no
them,
puedo hacerles,
I can't make them
no puedo
change.
hacer que cambie.
It's impossible.
No, es imposible hacer que
People
cambie.
have to get to a
La
point
persona tiene que llegar a un punto
where they're ready to
en que esté
change.
listo para cambiar.
Where they're ready to
Que esté
change.
listo para cambiar.
And then
Y después,
the system works
sí,
perfectly.
este sistema funciona perfectamente.
Mm.
Hay días que me cuesta mucho unificar las 3 horas. Veo como mi cabeza me dice, estás aburrido, ve y haz algo. ¿Cómo hago para seguir conectado conmigo mismo y soltar esa pelea interna? Some days it's very hard for me to unify 3 hours. I see how my head comes and say, oh, you are bored, go and do something else. How can I do to continue connected with myself and letting go that inner fight?
You know, wherever you're coming up against a stress,
Cuando sea que te estás por encontrar con un estrés,
the mind
la cabeza
says you're bored.
te va a decir que estás aburrido,
Oh, this isn't
que
working.
esto no funciona,
Or this is this and this is that.
que esto es aquello.
And that's when you need to insist
Exactamente cuando tienes que insistir,
and go deeper.
ir más profundo que
You know,
eso.
go
Ir
deeper
más profundo
and feel what's going
y
on
siente a ver qué emoción hay ahí, qué
and see this need
siente ver esta necesidad,
to always be
que siente
taking from the outside,
algo de afuera,
to be entertained with the outside,
miedo con el afuera,
and see the fear
que ver el miedo
of being present with you.
presente contigo.
How hard is it to lay there with your eyes
Lo
closed?
difícil es estar ahí con los ojos cerrados.
You're not comfortable with
No
yourself.
estás cómodo contigo.
You can't be with
No
yourself.
puedes estar contigo.
You can't go into that
No
profound
puedes
depth of
meterse
being.
en esa profundidad del ser.
And once you discover that,
Una vez que descubres eso,
it's not boring.
ya no es aburrido.
Quite the opposite.
Es lo opuesto.
Maybe at the beach you
Tal
notice.
vez en la playa te diste cuenta de
You go so deep, so deep, so deep, so deep, you don't even want to open your eyes.
quieres abrir tus ojos.
Why? Because there's another world.
Hay otro mundo
There's an internal world,
interno,
and there's another world of the senses
de los sentidos
that you don't hear
que no escuchas
when you have your eyes
cuando tienes
open,
tus ojos
that you don't feel
puedes sentir
when you have your eyes open. There's another world, a subtle world that you haven't discovered.
no has descubierto aún.
And once you can discover it all at once,
Descubres todo eso junto
and you're in the present
en
moment,
el momento presente.
you really start to appreciate
Empiezas a apreciar
the different dimensions
las dimensiones
of beauty
de la belleza.
that's happening all at
La
once.
belleza que está sucediendo todo al mismo tiempo.
Present moment awareness,
Piensa en el momento presente.
I smell,
Huelo,
I feel,
siento,
I hear.
escucho.
I'm conscious of everything.
Consciente de todo.
Every
De
person,
cada persona.
everything,
De cada
every
de
energy.
cada energía.
It's another
Es
world
otro mundo.
for people that are really
Es otro mundo
connected.
para las personas que están realmente conectadas.
And the internal world of
Y el
silence,
mundo interno del silencio,
that unlimited place,
ese lugar ilimitado,
once you start to connect with that,
empiezas a conectarte con eso,
you won't be bored.
no vas a estar ya aburrido.
You won't be
No
bored.
vas a estar aburrido. ¿Hasta qué punto la naturaleza de una persona puede cambiar? Till what point the nature of a person can change?
You know, I think the thing that changes
Creo que lo que cambia
is you let go of the
es
fear.
que dejas ir el miedo.
You often don't experience your true nature
No experimentas tu naturaleza verdadera.
because you've created a personality
Una personalidad
that serves
que
you
te sirve
in the world.
en el mundo.
But who you really
Pero
are,
quién eres realmente,
that incredible diamond
ese
within,
diamante interno increíble,
that incredible personality,
personalidad increíble,
that subtle individuality,
personalidad sutil,
you don't discover that
no descubres eso.
until you take off all the
Te
masks.
quitas todas las máscaras.
And when you take all those off,
Te quitas todo eso.
when you see the
Ves
protections,
las protecciones,
where you see the places that you're not open to love,
no estás abierto a amar,
where you're living in so much fear,
tanto miedo,
you don't give from a place of abundance,
desde un lugar de abundancia,
everything starts to
todo
change.
comienza a cambiar.
You know, we all have our own unique
Todos tenemos nuestra propia y única
way of being
forma de ser
and
y de
expressing,
expresar.
the same as we all
Lo
look
mismo que
different.
todos nos vemos diferentes.
We all look different.
Todos se nos ve
No one
diferente.
looks the same,
Nadie es idéntico a otro.
and it's the same with our personalities.
Nuestras personalidades.
But what leaves
Pero lo que se va
is the veil.
es justamente el velo.
It starts to emerge.
Empieza a emerger.
You start to discover yourself
Empiezas a descubrirte a ti mismo.
from a place of love,
Desde un
no?
lugar de amor.
Instead of all the
Desde
protections.
todas esas protecciones.
Hmm?
No entiendo todavía bien y tengo como un juicio con la expresión y con esto de golpear y gritar en mi brazo. ¿Me puedes ayudar a entender? I don't understand really well yet. And I have like a little judgment with this thing of the expression and this of beating up the mat and screaming my arm. Can you help me with this to understand?
Well, of course you do.
Por supuesto que, claro.
It looks
Se
ridiculous.
vea como algo ridículo.
How ridiculous are we?
¿Cuán ridículos somos?
We walk up the stairs
Subimos las escaleras.
and then we start screaming and hitting a mat and, or crying.
Una colchoneta o nos ponemos a llorar.
And it's the complete opposite to what we've done all our lives.
Completo lo que hemos hecho toda la vida.
But if you'd done it all your life,
Si has hecho eso toda la vida,
you wouldn't think it was strange.
si hubieras hecho eso toda la vida, no pensarías que es extraño.
You know, for an adult,
Para un adulto,
we think it's normal
nosotros creemos que es normal
to stuff everything,
guardarnos todo,
to have a
guardarnos
posture
todo, tener una postura.
that nothing's affecting us. And the stress
Y el estrés,
is like the mercury in a thermometer, no?
el mercurio en un termómetro,
It just keeps getting up, 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 until we're at exploding point.
está casi en un punto de explotación.
And that's normal.
Y eso lo consideramos normal.
We're so far away from ourselves
Tan lejos de nosotros mismos
that we don't even know what's
que ni
happening.
siquiera sabemos qué nos está sucediendo.
So why do we go to this other extreme?
Llegamos a este otro extremo.
To move
Poder
everything.
mover todo.
It's not that you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life.
Esto por el resto de tu vida, ¿eh?
You're going to be moving the rubbish
Estás moviendo la basura.
until your emotions are
Que
normal.
tus emociones sean normales, fluyan normales.
Humans
Los humanos
get sad.
se ponen tristes.
They don't get depressed.
No se deprimen.
Humans
Los humanos
get angry.
se enojan.
They don't get raged and start killing
Se
people.
ponen coléricos y empiezan a matar a la gente
Violent.
violentamente.
These are not natural
Esos no
behaviors.
son comportamientos naturales.
They're not
No
natural.
son naturales.
What's natural?
¿Qué es lo natural?
To cry?
Llorar,
To be angry?
estar enojado.
But it's like this.
Pero pasa así, rápido.
But we stuff
Pero
everything.
como nos hemos reprimido todo,
And when you're here,
cuando tú estás aquí,
everything starts to come up.
todo empieza a seguir, a emerger.
Great.
Buenísimo.
What better way to move
¿Qué
it?
mejor manera de moverlo?
Do you want to scream at your husband
¿Quieres gritarle a tu marido, casi?
or your
O
wife
a tu esposa?
or just in a pillow?
Mejor en una almohada. ¿No es cierto?
I know it's more fun, but
Sé
it's
que es
better
más
to scream in a
divertido,
pillow.
pero mejor usa la almohada, ¿eh?
And just move the energy.
Simplemente mover la energía cargada.
Because it's only energy.
Porque es solamente energía.
And yes, you look ridiculous
Claro que acá se te ve ridículo.
and you feel ridiculous,
Sientes ridículo.
but everyone's doing it.
Pero como todo el mundo lo está haciendo,
And it's not so
no
ridiculous.
está ridículo, ¿no?
And once you learn the relief
Una vez que aprendes de la liberación,
of just moving,
simplemente mover.
you'll look to move.
Vas a buscar el momento de mover.
You know that feeling when something's stuck, like, oh,
¿Ese sentido cuando tienes algo atascado
and you just want it to
y
move?
tú quieres que se mueva?
Now you know how.
Ahora ya sabes cómo hacerlo.
And it's so simple.
Tan simple.
And then the expansion
Y después
comes.
sucede la expansión.
So what do I have to let go of?
Así que, ¿qué es lo que tengo que soltar?
My image.
Mi imagen.
But how is your
Pero
image?
¿cómo es tu imagen?
My image is good.
Mi imagen está buena.
Is that what you want?
¿Eso quieres?
Or do you want to not even have an
¿O
image?
quieres ni siquiera tener una imagen?
Just to be natural.
Simplemente ser natural.
Just to have fun.
Simplemente divertirte.
Just to feel free.
Simplemente sentirte libre.
To feel that vibration in your body of love consciousness.
Conciencia.
That's what you want.
Eso es lo que quieres.
Even if you don't know yet.
No sepas todavía.
That's what you want.
Eso es lo que quieres.
So just surrender
Simplemente entrégate.
and be willing to look ridiculous.
Dispuesto a verte ridículo.
It's really not important
Realmente no es importante.
because we're all ridiculous.
Todos ridículos.
Really.
Me cuesta mucho conectarme con lo profundo de mi corazón y subir por la columna hacia arriba. ¿Me puedes ayudar con eso?
Hmm?
It's hard for me to connect deep in the heart and come up to my spine. Can you help with that?
You know, initially it's just a thought.
Al principio lleva solo el pensamiento.
And that's all it is. It's just, boom.
Todo lo que es, tu atención ahí.
And this,
Y esto,
it's like a paintbrush.
esto es como si fuera una pincelada.
You're just doing
Tu
this.
atención pasa como una pincelada.
And at some moment it
En
opens.
algún momento se va a abrir.
And you'll know what deep is.
Ya vas a ver cuán profundo está.
But for now, you're just putting your attention there.
Solo poner tu atención.
Same as you're putting it here.
Mismo que cuando llevas tu atención aquí.
It's all provoking energetic movement.
Provocando movimientos energéticos.
Yes?
¿Sí?
But don't expect to feel
Pero no
something.
esperes sentir algo en especial.
You will,
Lo vas a sentir.
but it will come
Lo
naturally.
va naturalmente.
And different people have different feelings.
Diferentes sentires.
You know, some people feel energy here,
Personas van a sentir más
some people feel it here.
por aquí.
It just depends on the person.
Solo depende de cada persona.
But it's not going to happen
Que
immediately
inmediatamente va a suceder.
because everything's having to de-stress and open.
Todo se está desestresando y abriéndose.
Hmm?
¿Sí? Me gustaría que hablaras sobre los celos y cómo trabajarlos para no compararse con las otras mujeres todo el tiempo. I would love you to talk about jealousy and how to work with that, so I'm not comparing with the rest of the women all the time.
You know, you've really got to learn to love yourself.
Realmente tienes que aprender a amarte.
Because there's nothing less attractive
Porque no hay nada menos atractivo
than someone who's jealous.
que alguien que sea celoso.
That everything's a threat against them.
Todo es una amenaza en su contra.
Everyone's better than
Todos
them.
son mejores que ella.
Trying to control everything in case someone takes something from you.
Te quite algo.
It's because you're saying,
Esto es porque con eso estás diciendo,
I'm not good enough.
no soy suficientemente buena.
I don't trust myself.
Confío en mí.
And you project that externally.
Eso hacia lo externo.
And it's horrible.
Es horrible.
Because it doesn't matter where you
No
are
importa dónde estés,
or what you're
qué
doing.
estés haciendo.
There's always differences.
Siempre hay diferencias.
But is the difference better?
¿Pero es acaso la diferencia mejor?
No.
Mejor no.
Nothing's better than the best of you.
Nada es mejor que lo mejor de ti.
And you have to love that.
Y tienes que amar eso.
It's an idea in our
Esa
heads.
es la idea que tenemos en la cabeza.
Something's better than me.
Algo es mejor que yo.
I'm going to lose
Voy a
someone.
perder a alguien.
I'm not good
Yo
enough.
no soy suficientemente buena.
Who can fix that?
¿Quién puede arreglar eso?
Not your
No
partner.
tu pareja.
Only you.
Solo tú.
Only you.
Solo tú.
You loving you.
Tú amándote a ti.
You trusting you.
Confiando en ti.
And you making that the most important
Es la
thing.
cosa más importante.
Not comparing.
No al comparar.
It's eternal.
Es eterno.
It's like
Es
iPhones.
como en los iPhones.
As soon as you get one,
En cuanto tenés uno,
there's a better
hay
one.
uno mejor.
You got to stop.
Tienes que parar con eso.
Just stop.
Tienes que parar.
No, but it's the
En
same.
serio, es lo mismo.
It's all an idea.
Porque todo es una idea.
Oh, there. Oh, I'm looking good. Oh, but she looks better. Why are you looking at her?
¿Por qué la estás mirando?
It's so unattractive.
Es tan poco atractivo eso.
For you.
Para ti, ¿no?
For you.
Para ti.
Mm.
Siento miedos antes de dormirme a la noche. ¿Qué puedo hacer para calmar mi ansiedad? They come up fears before falling asleep at night. What can I do to calm my anxiety?
You know, I think it's about just unifying
Creo que se trata solo de unificar
and
y
connecting
conectar
and seeing through the fear.
a través del miedo.
You know, it's like children with monsters.
Niños con los monstruos.
As soon as the light comes
En
on,
cuanto la luz se enciende,
the monster disappears, no?
aparecieron los monstruos,
But we
¿verdad?
create all these things in our heads.
Creamos todas estas cosas en nuestra cabeza.
Adults do the same thing.
Todos hacen la misma cosa.
There's not a reality.
No es una realidad.
It's just a fear of.
Miedo a.
And you have to see through that.
Tienes que ver más allá de eso.
All of these behaviors,
Todos estos comportamientos,
jealousy,
celos,
fear before I go to sleep,
antes de irse a dormir,
all of them are coming from insecurity.
vienen de la inseguridad.
And the only
La
person
única persona
that can make you
que
secure
puede transformarte en alguien seguro
is you.
eres tú.
So you use the facets.
Utilizar las facetas
And you have to say to yourself,
y te tienes que decir,
what do I want to be?
¿qué es lo que quiero ser?
This firstly for the jealousy.
Primero para los celos va.
Okay, what do I want to be?
¿Qué quiero ser?
Do I want to be at peace?
¿Quiero estar en paz?
Do I want to be happy with myself?
¿Ser feliz conmigo?
Yes.
Sí.
So I start choosing for that.
Elegir eso.
And see this addiction to suffer.
La adicción a sufrir.
And it's the same with the fears.
Miedos.
Okay,
Ok.
something's going to happen.
¿Algo va a suceder?
Does me worrying change it?
Si yo me preocupo, ¿va a cambiar eso?
No.
No.
I can't avoid,
No puedo evitar.
but I can change this
Sí
moment
puedo cambiar este momento.
to a joyful moment, a peaceful moment, a moment of connection
De conexión.
where I can go deep inside
Entrar profundo en mí.
and then just fall
Y
asleep
después te quedas dormida.
and see, invalidate what's
Tienes
transpiring.
que invalidar aquello que está sucediendo.
Don't give it
No
power.
es tu poder.
And as you say,
Y como decís,
it's habitual.
es habitual.
You do it every night.
Cada noche.
So change.
Que cambia. Háblanos del ego espiritual. Cuando uno empieza en este camino de búsqueda, de expansión de conciencia, muchas veces se ve que caemos en el ego, ¿verdad? Talk about the spiritual ego. Sometimes when we start this path of search, the expansion of consciousness, many times we fall in that ego, no?
Yes.
Sí,
And you have to see that.
tienes que verlo.
Because spirituality
Porque la espiritualidad
doesn't have a posture.
tiene una postura.
We think we're meant to be humble. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Or we have to, you know, be holier than Jesus. Or we have all the answers. That's not spirituality. Spirituality is the divine presence within you and your expression of that. How is your expression of divine presence? Natural, as a child. So see that. See that I changed this box for this box. Before I was a know-it-all, now I sabe todo más. If you have to defend an idea, it's not consciousness. If you have to defend love, it's not consciousness. If you have to pose all the time of peace, it's not consciousness. Humans don't walk around like this. Only the Dalai Lama does that. And he's been trained since he was that big. He doesn't know how else to walk around. He's great. I'm not criticizing him, but, you know, but you were normal humans, no? You know, someone didn't come and give you a bowl and say, you're the Dalai Lama. No. No, you're just normal humans with a normal experience, and you continue to be normal. What's the difference? You're loving yourself. You have this energy that's joyful, but it's very normal. It doesn't have a posture. And it's certainly not fighting for its belief systems. So if you see this, change, because it's really boring. But really boring. And it won't inspire anyone. Not for long. That's why my teachers' commitments say, I am an eternal student. And I teach from my own experience, from my heart.
¿Qué opinas sobre la cocreación? ¿Cómo se puede hacer con las facetas para crear y atraer todo lo que soñamos para nosotros? What do you think about co-creation? How can I do with the facet to create and attract me all what I dream with?
Firstly, I don't believe in co-creation.
Primero, no creo en la co-creación.
And secondly,
Segundo,
I have no idea.
no tengo idea.
Maybe you better read The Secret.
Tal vez mejor que te leas El Secreto.
She seems to know.
Parece que ella sabe.
But I know something bigger than that.
Pero yo sé algo más grande que eso.
Doesn't matter what you create,
No importa que sea lo que vayas a crear.
if you're not loving
Si
yourself,
no te estás amando a ti,
it's going into an empty hole.
va a entrar en un agujero vacío.
And really,
Y de verdad,
all any human's looking for
lo único que los seres humanos están buscando
is love.
es el amor.
And you have to be that
Tú
creation.
tienes que ser esa creación.
It has to move out.
Tiene que salir eso hacia afuera. Soy nueva en el sistema y no entiendo eso de que somos un espejo y nos reflejamos. I'm new in the system and I don't understand that thing that we are a mirror and we reflect each other.
You know, I guess when I talk about this,
Supongo que cuando yo hablo de eso,
it's my experience,
es mi
no?
propia experiencia.
And I see it all the time.
Y lo digo todo el tiempo.
Because I don't have a judgment anymore.
Yo ya no tengo juicio.
I see myself everywhere.
Mí misma en todas
Every aspect. I don't have this idealism.
este idealismo.
I see my violence, I see my jealousy, I see this, I see that, because I take responsibility for everything. I am love in evolution. And sure, I've evolved a lot, but I know myself everywhere. And once the judgment leaves, the mirror becomes perfect because it's empty here. But you will see it bit by bit. You will see it in meetings. You will see it in your family, in your parents, in the things you most reject. You will start to see, I am that, 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 I am that. And you will heal it internally. And then you'll perceive the mirror of perfection. But it's a process. And most humans don't want to embrace aspects that they perceive as negative. But they're not negative. They're just human. We're all perfectly human. Once you embrace that, you'll find your divinity. Now it's perfectly clear, no? Yeah, yeah, I know.
Mi marido se pone muy inseguro cuando quiero hacer cosas como salir con mis amigas o visitar a mi familia que vive lejos. Se pone triste y enfadado, se siente abandonado y yo sufro al ver su sufrimiento. ¿Cómo puedo sanar esto? My husband gets very insecure when I want to do things by myself, like going out with my friends, visiting my family that lives far away. He gets sad, he gets annoyed, and he feels abandoned by me, and I suffer when I see his suffering. How can I heal this?
Aww. You have to take him with you. Come on! Come on! Yeah, come on! Just take him with you. And forget it. Oh, am I meant to answer that? Okay. You know, it's really a little bit pathetic, no? A little bit pathetic. But remember, he's your mirror. So see the attachment and you start to let go. He does the little face and you feel guilty. So we're all so attached. It's not that he's pathetic. You're both pathetic. And you need to heal that. Or take him with you. Yeah.
Me han dicho que soy intimidante, que parezco mala. ¿Cómo sobrellevar ese tipo de críticas para que no me afecten? I have been told that I'm intimidating and I seem evil. How to overcome this kind of criticism towards me to be affected by?
Just embrace it. You know, you have a judgment. Obviously, you've got a strong personality. Just love it. And don't worry. You know, you're beating yourself up because what people say. You have to love yourself unconditionally. And maybe you're aloof. And maybe you are too hard. So modify that. Just be present. If you want to change, change. If you don't want to change, love yourself unconditionally. I'm extremely intimidating. Personally, I love it. What to do, Baba?
Cuando mi hijo tenía 33 años, le conté que su papá no era el que él conoció como tal, sino que era otro. Cuando le dije la verdad, para mí fue muy liberadora, pero para él, no sé, nunca más hablamos de eso. Eso me tiene un poco angustiada. ¿Me puedes ayudar a ver esto, pero de una forma positiva? When my son was 33 years old, I told him that his father was not the father he thought it was, that it was another one. When I told the truth, it was very liberating for me. But for him, I don't know, because we never spoke that issue again. And that I feel a little bit anguished about. Can you help me to see this in a positive way?
Well, first you have to let go of the anguish.
Primeramente, tú tienes que soltar tu angustia.
And you need to talk to him.
Necesitas hablarle.
You know, if you want him to be vulnerable,
Que él sea vulnerable.
you have to be vulnerable.
Que ser vulnerable.
And yes, I'm sure it affected him.
Sí, seguro que le afectó.
But that's his thing.
Pero esa es su cosa.
He'll have to work on that.
Él va a tener que trabajar sobre eso.
He'll have to connect with that.
Tiene que conectarse.
So how can you help him?
Entonces, ¿cómo puedes tú ayudarle a él?
By being vulnerable.
Siendo tú misma vulnerable.
Say to him,
Dile,
you know, I let this go,
yo dejé ir esto,
but I'm afraid
pero tengo miedo
that it affected you badly.
esto mal.
Open up.
Ábrete,
Share your fears and see what happens.
¿qué sucede?
I'm sure there's something he'll have to do.
Seguro que hay algo que va a tener que hacer.
I'm sure it affected him on some level.
Seguro que en algún nivel le afecta.
It doesn't matter how old you
En
are.
realidad no importa la edad que uno tenga.
It's a little bit shocking, no? One person's your dad, and no, it's not. Oh,
Y de pronto no lo es.
so maybe he's got lots of questions,
Tal vez tenga un montón de preguntas,
lots of thoughts about it.
tenga muchos pensamientos.
Or maybe he just shut down completely.
Tal vez se cerró completamente.
But you need to talk to him
Pero como sea, tú tienes que hablar con él.
and stop beating yourself up.
Dejar de castigarte tú misma.
This is a drama.
Que es un drama.
This is what happened.
Esto es lo que sucede.
This is what I said.
Esto es lo que dije.
This is perfect.
Esto es perfecto.
It's perfect that you told him.
Perfecto que se
It's
lo haya-
perfect that you were honest.
perfecto que hayas sido honesta.
Now just be open and vulnerable with him.
Sé abierta y vulnerable con él.
Listo.
Y listo.
Maybe he wants to ask more
Tal
questions.
vez él quiera hacer más preguntas.
He's scared he's going to upset you.
O tal vez tiene miedo aunque te afectes.
You know, you have to communicate.
Tienes que comunicar.
We're always trying to guess.
Siempre estamos como jugando a las adivinanzas.
This is where all the problems come
Y ahí
from.
vienen todos los problemas.
No one talks.
Nadie habla.
Everyone
Todo
guesses.
el mundo está ahí como adivinando.
And there's so much confusion.
Y hay tanta confusión.
Whereas if humans are just vulnerable
Si los humanos fueran solo vulnerables
and
y
open,
abiertos,
there's a resolution for
habría
everything.
una solución para todo.
And that
Y
resolution
esa resolución
is love.
es amor.
Hmm? Hmm?